I'm so chill right now because मेरे सारे interviews for 2021 have been done. Like अभी मैं बस सो जाऊं autopilot पे, they will go on. Every other week they'll launch a new one because I've already done all the interviews.
So Jenny, tell me this also now. Let's switch gears thoda sa. Let's talk about content creators.
Yeah.
You've been working on the Design MBA podcast for a good amount of time, right?
Yeah.
You are in the US, so I think your approach has mostly been, let's do audio, let's do, your production quality is amazing. You really, really take the time to research your guests, so that genuineness can be felt throughout the chain, right? It's not just how you cold email, it's your entire approach to things. What are you thinking? You as a content creator, what does 2021 look like to you?
Well, so one of the best things is when you collaborate with other people, like, my collaboration with you, working with you, like that was the main reason why I used to create content, but it was more of like, because I'm in the US, I'm focusing more just on the audio, but then you're like, like, look at this in India, like YouTube is even more consumed more than just like audio version. So that inspired me to start a YouTube channel. You inspired me to be more active on Twitter. मैं LinkedIn पे था पहले, पर अभी now is like Twitter पे भी बहुत active हूँ. So now it's like I have the best of both worlds. I'm doing things that are best practice in the US, but then I'm also realizing that the game जो है वो पूरा different है Indian market के लिए. You can't just copy जो US में work कर रहा है सीधा तो सीधा without changing anything in India. So for me, 2021 is being more focused on YouTube. जैसे कि like अभी कुछ महीनों के बाद मैं season 3 record करूँगा podcast के लिए, right? तो basically that the one thing by default is मैं सारी interviews video format में record करने वाला हूँ. So 28 to 30 whatever XYZ interviews I do सारे video में होंगे. तो वो सारे videos अभी YouTube पे भी आ जाएंगे. That's one thing for me is like increasing my YouTube presence. Thanks to your mentorship. Abhinav Baba ki jai ho. Then another thing was being more active on Twitter, right? So now like we both like worked out a strategy, and then I have enough content. I could say I have one tweet per day for all of April, and I want to follow up on this model to have like a buffer of content. So now I have more content from Twitter that I can reuse on LinkedIn. So basically, as a content creator, it's been about doubling down on certain things that I had not focused on before, especially the video component, and still taking that production quality that I had before. So I don't have to do a lot of work, but it's like, mera mic acha hai, I'm making sure the guest has good audio quality like you do. So I still have the good stuff that I picked up from the US and stuff, but then I'm going into a lot more emerging markets like India, where it's like YouTube is the default way.
That's interesting, bro. One thing I've also liked about your approach is you have a very systemic approach, right? So let me just touch upon this for everybody here. Jenil and I are total opposites. We align in a lot of ways, right? Our approach, our worldview, the way we approach building a career online, to put in broad terms. However, there's one thing that we totally are different on, and that's our approach to planning. Okay, although we do align in a lot of places. I'm just exaggerating.
I know.
Jenil plans everything meticulously, right? Jenil's approach is let's build a buffer of content, because to Jenil, consistency is really important, and that's what I really appreciate, right? So for the podcast, I'm sure a lot of you have noticed this. Most podcasters that start out stop after a while. I'm embarrassed to admit there's an Abnux 2 podcast on Spotify, right? I've done 4 episodes. The 4th one is on YouTube. I haven't even uploaded it to Spotify.
Oh my God.
Okay, and I'll tell you why. My reason is I do things almost just in time, right? It's not procrastination. It's just in time project management. So this thing is a little bit more spontaneous, and the negatives of that is that consistency can get fucked up for me sometimes. But your approach is one where you start from that place of abundance by building up this base, and then you start doing that. So just thought I'd share that.
Yeah, I mean it's both are right in their own approaches. My thing is more like the show must go on. So if I, let's say, fall sick या फिर कोई मेरे दोस्त का wedding आ गया राजकोट में and I have to go there, right? तो all these things take time away from me. मुझे उस वक्त pressure नहीं चाहिए. तो like I'm so chill right now because मेरे सारे interviews for 2021 have been done. Like अभी मैं बस सो जाऊं autopilot पे, they will go on. Every other week they'll launch a new one because I've already done all the interviews. अभी जब मैं जुलाई में रिकॉर्डिंग शुरू करूंगा नेक्स्ट सीजन 3 के लिए, that's for all of 2022. So by December end, I'm going to be done for 2022. At least the podcast content. So it helps me, this buffer, to focus on a new area. So let's say if you say tomorrow, like, let's do something with TikTok. So I can say that I have the bandwidth, the mental capacity to do this. But at the same time, I've learned from you also with the just in time is कि सब कुछ plan नहीं हो सकता है. Like जैसे अभी ये stream live करने वाला है, तो something you just gotta wing it. You can't just plan everything. अच्छा हम क्या बोलेंगे, ये बालाजी वेफर के बारे में बोलेंगे. We didn't plan any of this thing. We're just like फोड़ लेंगे, जुगाड़ कर लेंगे. So if you mix both of these aspects just in time with a little bit of planning, फटाके फूट जाएंगे. मुझे फटाके फोड़ने बहुत बहुत पसंद है.